Bothwell has a career-high 34. Mike Bothwell. Christmas came early. Mike Bothwell and Furman have sent Greenville into a frenzy.
Welcome into college basketball presented by Ingles. This is the Furman Paladins and the Anderson Trojans live from Timmons Arena. Welcome courtside Bryant Lambert along with Terrence Oglesby. Terrence, you were there Saturday afternoon with John Fanto on the call, and Mike Bothwell, he did it again.
His efficiency is what stands up more than anything. 12 of 14 and 36 points. Are you kidding me, Bryant? This Furman team and Mike Bothwell, so much fun to watch. They knock down shots from the perimeter. They share it, and there's been some highlight plays as well. They're coming up against an Anderson team, though, that's starting to get their rhythm in the Division II season. Regardless, you need to enter Christmas on a high note.
Both these teams coming off a win. Taking a look at the players to watch. First, for the Trojans, it's Miles Jenkins.
Well, if there's one guy for Anderson that can compete physically with the Paladins, it's Miles Jenkins. He's a double-double waiting to happen. 19 and 10 in his last contest and 14 and 8 on the season. He's that guy that needs to play well for Anderson to have success today.
For the Paladins, who else can you give it to tonight other than Mike Bothwell?
I mean, it only makes sense. His efficiency all season long has been absolutely astounding. He's scoring the ball at such a high level, and he's the best scoring guard probably in this state, truth be told. He shoots it from the perimeter, he can take it to the hole, and he is big time in big time situations. That is Mike Bothwell. Needs a good one heading into Christmas.
Getting ready for the tip between the Paladins and the Trojans. Garrett Heen out there for Furman. Set to jump against Miles Jenkins. Terrence, who we just talked about, the 6'4 sophomore out of Lexington. And we're underway with the Paladins winning the opening tip here, the last game before the holiday break for the Paladins. There you see the starting five for Furman, presented by Bon Secours.
Interested to see how Furman comes out of this game. It shows a lot about the maturity of your team. Anderson's going to be ready to play. You come off an emotional win a couple of days ago. How do you respond with one game left until you get to go home and see your family?
There you see the Bon Secours starting five for the Trojans. A lot of storylines between these two teams we'll get into. Anderson just about 30 minutes down I-85 from the Furman campus. Shot clock now down to 5. With it, Luke Denbo, the freshman out of Ashland, Ohio. 2 to shoot, ball knocked away. Shot clock goes off, and it's going to be a shot clock violation and a turnover on the opening possession.
You have to love the urgency defensively for Furman. Now, we're going to call it what it is. Anderson being a D2 program and struggling under a new coach in Jimmy Williams, there's going to be some adjustment for them in this ball game. But regardless, if you're Furman, come out, bring the heat, set the tone defensively, and the shots will follow.
This Paladin team coming off a big win as Garrett Heen gets it going, a downtown win. You saw Mike Bothwell's game-winning shot, Terrence, as we came on air. That was a big-time win for this Furman program over Stephen F. Austin. Probably the best mid-major matchup of the day. A game that you called, you were courtside as a turnover again. A game of momentum shifts where two athletic teams went at it.
Well, Furman got up 24 points in the first half. In the second, though, Stephen F. Austin started to force some turnovers. But you'll see Anderson trapping the post off the guy who throws it in. That's going to open up a lot of shots from the perimeter. Look to see how that progresses as the game goes along. If Furman's able to knock down shots, he'll be able to run away with it.
J.P. Pegues knocks it down from long range. Paladins, Terrence, a 33, almost 34% team from behind the arc. Not afraid to let it fly. That's a nice pass down low on the scoreboard, Miles Jenkins. Furman comes in averaging just over 80 points a game. The Trojans just over 76 points a game as Pegues lets it fly again. And back-to-back three-pointers for J.P. Pegues, the sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee.
He's been shooting the ball well as of late, but you're still going to have to guard. Mike Bothwell giving up middle drive a little bit too easy to Jackson Greco. Mercer transfer from last season. He's had some success in the Southern Conference.
Whistle down low, Furman to go to the free throw line. This Anderson team comes in 3-9 on the season, 1-2 in a very competitive South Atlantic Conference. Terrence, you and I were talking that before on air. Furman will open up conference play right after Christmas against VMI, but Coach Jimmy Williams taking over a program, and you know, you've experienced coaching changes and going to different organizations in pro ball. It takes a little bit to kind of get your style in there, your mentality, and Coach Jimmy Williams is kind of facing that head on this season.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it's not like he's been given any favors either. At South Atlantic Conference is one of the better conferences on this side of the country when it comes to Division II basketball. Carson Newman's in that league, Lincoln Memorial, Wingate, a lot of good universities in that Division II ranks that are going to be able to compete at a high level. But this year is about setting a standard, setting a precedent for what you're trying to accomplish in the South Atlantic Conference.
Anderson coming off a win last time out, a 77-68 win over Lenore Ryan, as we'll see some full court pressure out of the Paladins for the first time here in the early going.
And that's that same Lenore Ryan. If they sound familiar, that's the same Lenore Ryan that beat Louisville at the beginning of the season as Miles Jenkins takes it strong to the hoop. He's that guy that can compete physically with Furman. 6'4", strong body, could probably play outside linebacker somewhere, but regardless, he's going to have to play well to keep the Trojans in the fold.
Slauson top of the key, thought about a three, sends it to McGee. Still try to hit his third in the early going. That one's off the rim, rebound loose and taken down by Jenkins.
And I like the unselfishness by Slauson, but if you're given a lane like that, you're cleared for takeoff, sir. Go ahead and finish it. Doesn't matter who you're playing against. Attack with aggressiveness.
Slauson been on SportsCenter top 10 many times this season with his high-flying dunks. It was the Bothwell game winners. That shot's off the mark, came in at number 9 on the top 10 on a busy Saturday of sports. As this will get a couple Paladins in. Tyrese Huey and Marcus Foster both checking in for the Paladins. This is a team, Terrence, that as you take a look at the rebound, Coach Ritchie can go 10-11 deep if he wants to, but it's all about now finding the rotation, especially as you get towards Southern Conference play.
And a little bit of it is shortening the rotation, right? I mean, everybody can't play 35 minutes. That's the hard part, especially when you have a talented team like Furman is. You have to narrow it down a little bit, and guys have to fall into their roles and be okay with their roles. Coming up on Christmas and going into conference play, that's when those roles are solidified.
Trojans beat the pressure, handling the basketball. Mason Carver, a senior out of Lexington. Turnover, and here comes Slauson. Furman likes to go quick. Slauson into the front court, finds a trailing Pegues. He'll launch a three-pointer. A bit too strong, and a grab long rebound by Slauson.
Really good pass, really unselfish ball movement by Furman. Tyrese Huey, though, that's the second air ball from the corner in as many games. Have your feet set, get ready to shoot. He's plenty capable of knocking down shots. Just has to shoot it with confidence.
Greco all the way to the glass, couldn't get the roll. Here comes the Paladins. Next whistle will be the under 16 media timeout. Bothwell sends it to Slauson, who thought about it. One more to Foster, open three-pointer on the way. Offensive rebound. Right now, offensive rebounds in favor of the Paladins already with 3.
If you're Coach Jimmy Williams from Anderson, you have got to get your guys to finish possessions because Furman has that talent to get by you. If you're able to get stops, that first shot defense, you got to close out.
Second chance points for the Paladins. Lead at 6 here, just underway from Greenville. Half-court man-to-man for the Paladins, trying to take it into the lane and kick through the corner. There's this Furman team comes in, prides themselves off defense, and that's one of the things Coach Ritchie wanted to see after that High Point game. You really got to get in and defend the basketball. Quick trigger 3 off the mark. Bothwell has it poked away. He'll stay with the Paladins, though, when we come back. 14:42 to go here in the first half. Early on, it's Furman doubling up Anderson 12-6 from Timmons Arena.
A promise is a trust not to be broken, whether spoken with an oath or sealed with a pinky. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission, always.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
Weird. Come on. Great. You for real? So maybe just a cable?
We can help you.
Welcome to America's #1 battery destination, AutoZone, your battery solution.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. It tastes like it's just the top of the line peppermint. For me, no milkshake is topping the Peppermint Chip Milkshake.
Hi, my name is Madison, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is how it just makes me feel like a kid again. I love the cherry on top and the sweet peppermint bark flavor. It's definitely on my list of things that bring me joy around the holidays.
This telecast of ESPN's college basketball is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. By Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. By Ingles, low prices, love the savings. And by Pepsi, that's what I like. Bryant Lambert, Terrell Oglesby with you, just underway. Terrence, taking a look at the keys to the game, how they unfold here in the first 5.5 minutes.
Well, if you're Anderson, you need to keep it clean, and you need to knock down shots after not turning the ball over. That hasn't been the case so far. 3 turnovers, 0 for 2 from 3. They're going to stay in. They have to knock down shots from the perimeter. And Furman, you're coming off a massive win against a really good Stephen F. Austin team. Heading into Christmas, make sure you end off the first part of the season on a high note. If they're able to keep their energy up, that should be the case.
After the timeout, the ball will stay with the Paladins. 24 on the shot clock. Furman has already launched 8 threes, knocked down 2 of them. Terrence, what's the balance? Furman's going to probably get some looks from beyond the arc. It's being patient, maybe wait for the great shot, not the good shot.
Well, that's absolutely right, but sometimes you have to be aggressive on the first one. And we've seen it already early in the game. Guys are passing up some of these great shots to try to get even greater shots. That's not where you need to be. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're wide open, it's not helping anybody to skip over those opportunities.
Tyrese Huey getting called for the offensive foul, didn't get set on the screen. Ball back over to Anderson. Johnny Lawrence in for Furman, the redshirt junior out of Orlando. Also Alex Williams, the sophomore out of Ohio. There's a lot of contact down low. Will be 2 at the line.
That's a nice
for
move.
Anderson.
Miles Jenkins faking away from the ball screen, gets Williams off balance, takes it down to the baseline, draws the foul. He's opened up really aggressive, in the early going. I'm excited to see Johnny Lawrence. I haven't seen him play all that often, and we've done games for the better part of 2 seasons now. 6'10", can shoot it a little bit. Coach Jimmy Williams.
Jimmy Williams, you know, it's interesting for Coach Williams, a guy that, of course, we talked about, an assistant for the Paladins. He was honored pregame coming back to Timmins. He recruited a lot of these guys. So you want to know the scouting report on how to play Furman? There's not someone probably better to do it than Jimmy Williams, as he spent many years on the staff of head coach Bob Ritchie.
An excellent coach, really good with his players. Johnny Lawrence stepping out from the corner and shooting some, but establishes great relationships. That's one thing you know about Coach Williams. He's going to continue to do that, and a big-time basketball mind as well. Should have success at Anderson.
Nice backdoor pass off the glass and in by Garrett Denbo, the junior out of Ashland, Ohio, one of the Denbo brothers.
I just love
back to a 2-point game.
I love the pace. Good aggressive move. Williams attacking the rim, but I love the pace that Anderson's playing with right now. Ball's moving, cuts are hard. You're able to get somewhere, but this is Williams just exerting force on the defense. If they're going to continue to back off of you and try to contest late, that's going to give you space to attack. And he's able to take advantage. He's knocked down free throws, though.
Williams can knock it down from beyond the arc, too. He came in that South Carolina State game for the Paladins in the second half. Tell you what, he was a bolt of lightning. Scored 15-plus points in about 6 minutes to help spur the Paladins well past the Bulldogs. Didn't play the first 6 games as he was working through some things with the programs. Could be a big part as the second free throw falls off and the Paladins miss 2 from the line. Chance for Anderson to tie or take their first lead.
Just love the pace. Look at the pace. Look how hard guys are cutting off screens. Those are things they're going to need to do in order to generate some space. Number 4, one of the Denbos Throws it off Garrett Heen's foot.
Shot clock back to 20. Furman just one of their last 7 from the field. There you see inbounding right at the end of the Paladin bench. Assistant coach Chad Warner, who came in to take on the spot on the staff for Jimmy Williams, as that spot sent to the corner. 3-pointer on the way, in and out. Rebound taken down by Huey. Talk about pace. Look how quickly Furman wants to get out and run.
That's exactly right. And guys need to continue running to the rim, and you're going to find opportunities. If you don't find opportunities for yourself, you find it on the backside, because the defense comes in whenever you have rim runners. But regardless, you cut hard, you find space, and you're able to create looks.
Heen down low, patient, but misses the hook. Offensive rebound for the Paladins, the 4th in the early going. 3 on the way. That one's in and out. Furman getting opportunities. Shots aren't falling here the first 8 minutes. Quickly into the front court with it is Greco. Count it. And he'll go to the line for 1.
Anderson emotional on the and 1 opportunity. Jackson Greco, he knows he can play at this level. Played at this level last year for the Mercer Bears. Takes it in, goes strong. Garrett Heen, you got to get there and square up the basketball. Maintain your verticality. Nice aggressive drive for Anderson.
Chance for Greco to give the Trojans the lead. The sophomore out of Canton, Georgia does. And a quick 7-0 spurt over the last 2 minutes for Anderson. Schlosson back into the game for the Paladins, as well as Bothwell and J.P. Pegues. Heen has it knocked away. Loose tie up. And it's going to be possession to the Trojans.
There's a lot of effort on one side of the floor, Bryant. A lot of effort on one side of the floor. Anderson diving on loose balls, creating jump ball situations, moving the basketball, cutting hard. They're here to compete. You'd love to see Bothwell or Schlosson really be aggressive here in the next 4 or 5 minutes to really establish what you want to do offensively.
It's going to be the second foul on Garrett Heen. He'll have to take a seat. Marcus Foster back in for the Paladins.
Ten of Furman's 13 shots have come from beyond the arc. They are much bigger, much more athletic. They should be able to attack the rim.
Ball poked away, but a whistle. Battling for the rebound with Mac Burgett, the junior out of Richmond, Virginia. It'll be the Trojan ball along the baseline as you take another look.
Mac Burgett's a nice player for Anderson. He's not the most skilled guy on the team. He's not the most skilled guy in their league, but he battles for position. He goes for every loose ball, every rebound, and he's a terrific leader and role player for the Trojans. Nice pass.
Off the glass, beat Marcus Foster in a 3-point lead for Anderson. Furman now scoreless over the last 3.5 minutes. Down low, a whistle going up.
I like the aggressiveness, though. Ben Vanderwall getting the ball, taking it downhill, drawing the foul. You play with pace, you're going to be able to score. Regardless, though, what a pass. Miles Jenkins, he's played well early. Anderson keeping it close against a very good Furman team. Anderson up 3.
What happened to your New Year's resolution?
My resolution is to eat better. Epic stuffed crust, better ingredients, better pizza. I'm eating better. What are you guys doing in my house? Don't answer. I thought you said you wasn't coming back.
To be clear, we have never been accused of being flashy, sexy, or lit. May I? We're definitely not lit. I mean, seriously, we named ourselves Booking.com, which is kind of lit if we're talking literal. It's why we're Planet Earth's #1 site for booking accommodation. We love booking stuff. And we're just here to help you make the best of your vacation. Oh, Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
Let's take it slow. Slow, slow.
Mom?
Wow. Wow. And they'll check them both for free.
Yes.
Fix Finder, the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes.
Brian Lambert, Terrence Oglesby back with you from Greenville. The Trojans, a 9-0 run. They're up 3 on the Paladins right now. Terrence, taking a look at Furman's 8-4 mark compared to last year. A game better record-wise than a season ago. Furman actually shooting the ball better despite not as shooting from long range as good as a season ago. They're giving up less points. Coach Ritchie's saying, hey, he's tired of hearing all this perception about maybe a slow start or others, that this team has a high ceiling and they're playing pretty good basketball.
Well, out of their 4 losses, 2 of which have come against NCAA tournament caliber teams in NC State and Penn State, a Penn State game where they were right in the mix. Now, that being said, offensively, I feel like this team is just as good, if not better, especially when it comes to attacking the rim. 61% from 2. That's good for 3rd in the country. The efficiency level of this basketball team is really, really good. Now, that being said, defensively has been a process. Let's put it that way. They're not exactly guarding the shots very well, but at the same time, that end of the floor is starting to pick up substantially, especially since Coach Bob Ritchie's rotations are starting to shrink down, and you're able to get defense first guys in the fold for more minutes during the game.
Vanderwall makes 2 from the line. This Furman team finished 22-12 a season ago, losing in that heartbreaker in the conference finals, went 8-5 in non-conference play. So a win tonight, Furman would better the non-conference record from a season ago as they get going to Southern Conference play. Physical play by Greco, finishes at the rim.
Wow. Excellent play by Greco. Vanderwall actually played solid defense, just lost his discipline at the last second. Stay on your feet, young fella. Maintain your verticality. Make him shoot over the top.
Slauson. Double team comes, kicks it over to McGee. Still plenty of time, 10 on the shot clock.
Bothwell needs to go. You need your stars to be stars, even when the games aren't going great. This is when you need them the most. Anderson bringing the heat defensively, staying in front.
See, the double team came down low, Terrence. That seems to be Furman gets in the paint no matter who it is. The help side defense is going to come. And there, the block against Vanderwall. The shot clock expired.
Well, you're trying to make up for your lack of size if you're Anderson. You're trying to make up for that lack of size by throwing multiple bodies with high hands. The other thing that's helping them is Furman gets the ball. They are very casual when they get in the paint. You need to attack to score.
Offensive rebound. Talk about attacking. Burgett gets his own putback, and the Trojans up 5. Paladins without a field goal the last 5 minutes. How much of a team like Anderson and Jimmy Williams is it about believing? You get in, you get through the first media timeout, maybe you get through the first 10 minutes, you look up, you know, you start to have a sense of belief that maybe you came in here saying you did, but ultimately till you got in, you didn't, as the 3-pointers knocked down by Marcus Foster.
Well, he took the lid off, that's for sure. But of course, when you're going into an opposing team's arena, like getting easy buckets is the easiest thing, and then maintaining your discipline when things are going well. That's not something, if you're Coach Williams, that you want Jackson Greco doing.
And a quick timeout by Jimmy Williams, a 5-0 run. Furman erases the deficit. And Terrence, you saw that 30-second timeout called Coach Jimmy Williams. We talked about his experience on the other bench. He knows how quickly Furman can go, take another reset down low, and takes a quick timeout to stop the run.
Well, they change sides of the floor, quick pick and roll action, and that's where Jalen Slauson can get you. Nice pass by Vanderwall, but as you play with pace, that's when Furman can score. But if you're Anderson, you've scored in the half court. Let that ball work for you. Don't get impatient if you're Jackson Greco and come down and pull up on the wing. Let the ball work, run your offense. You've had success. Just don't get too rushes. Don't get too happy. It's going to be discipline for 40 minutes if Anderson's going to stay in this ball game.
Talked a little bit
I'm
about.
going to be honest with you, Brian.
Yep.
When I played it, I coached at Carson-Newman University, which is a school in Anderson's conference. We're going to talk about this first, and then we'll get to it.
Well, you see, pregame, it's like a homecoming of sorts for Jimmy Williams. 5-year Paladin assistant coach, and spent some time in the upstate before that at North Greenville. Look at the respect. It's one of those things, some coaches leave and you say, yeah, you replace him. Coach Jimmy Williams, I thought everybody that talked about him coming back was excited to see not only him, but his family.
Well, Jimmy Williams, a great individual. I think we've We've hit on that plenty. Great family. He's going to do a nice job at Anderson. But to respond to your question about opening the game on a strong note, I was at Carson Newman, which is in the South Atlantic Conference with Anderson. We went to go play Belmont right around the same time. Go ahead and finish that real quick for Mr. Foster. And it's so important that first 4 minutes just to compete, because we came out, played Belmont, they hit 4 threes in the very first 2 minutes of the game, and it was done. They ended up getting blitzed by 60. And that's a difficult part of kind of, you know, establishing some confidence at the beginning of the game.
Danger chance here for the Trojans. A quick 7-0 Furman run, a chance to span the lead further. Down low, Foster keeps his pivot foot. Furman a little more patient here offensively in the midst of this 7-0 run.
And you see the pace since that last time out has really picked up. Ball moving, shots falling. Marcus Foster getting back that beautiful jump shot after having a few days off.
Foster now with 8 points. See the difference in those 3-pointers. They're going inside out and another turnover. Paladin's running. 10-0 run, trying to make it more. Foster thought about it. And now Furman will set up the half-court offense. Vanderwall, open 3-pointer on the way, off the mark. Rebound taken down by the Trojans.
But still, the pace, you have to be happy with it. Now you have to communicate. Dimbo, he gets going. He can get hot in a hurry, and the bank is open. I don't even know what day it is, but it's pretty late. I didn't think it'd be open this late.
I'll tell you what, high off the bank, too. T.O., you know, you've joked you've never seen a bad shot. If I give you 10 balls, a Slauson tries to respond, can't. That's a tough bank shot, even for a sharpshooter like you. You just go straight for the net.
That's right. Oh, he goes for another one. Dimbo.
Out off the mark, Pegues skies for the rebound. It'll be a foul against the Trojans. Will take us to immediate timeout.
Furman starting to play better. Getting out in the open floor, passing to the open man, knocking down some shots, and turning up the intensity defensively. Look, you get out in the passing lanes, that intensity's high. Marcus Foster jumps higher. Furman taking the lead.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is Mountain Dew. A rush of crisp and refreshing flavor. Delivering a bold citrus kick. Do the Dew.
Are you kidding me? Is that for me? How? Oh, can't wait to see what you got your mother.
The BMW Road Home Sales Event, on now. Through November 30th, your purchase of a new BMW will help provide 200 meals to local families in need.
The Dimbo brothers for Coach Jimmy Williams and the Trojans. You got Garrett the junior, Luke the freshman. Talk about a productive big bro and little bro combination for the Trojans.
Well, Garrett Dimbo transferred from West Liberty, which was ranked number 2 in all of Division II basketball last season, but now he's found a home after spending some time a little bit further north. But Luke Dimbo is interesting. Why? Freshman from Ohio. Averaged 28 points per game last season. Largely looked over. Coach Jimmy Williams is really excited about this young man. I talked to him over the summer. Jimmy Williams loves his team. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get those guys together and playing on the same page.
Playing on the same page so far through the first 12 minutes. Has Furman in a 2-point game here, getting toward the later stages of this opening half. Paladin's trying to get it down low to Foster. Double team comes and able to finish. You see the double team quickly come every catch down low.
And I like that offensive possession. Why? Because you're entering the ball from the top of the key, and that takes a second for help side to get there.
Loose ball, almost a turnover. Trojans get it back. Here's Luke Dimbo. Terrence Furman, a nice job there scrambling off the almost turnover. Oftentimes you see if you maintain possession, is able to get a good look there, but Paladins give up the second 3 of the game, and it's back to a 1-point game.
Miles Jenkins has come ready to play. Bryant Lambert, 11 points here in the early going. 4 for 4, 1 for 1 from beyond the arc, 5 boards. We profiled him, and they have 4 guys averaging 14 points a game. The reason I profiled him is because physically he can keep up. That's the biggest difference. Like, he's going to be able to create something. He's going to be able to bounce off and create space. And he's showing that early in this game. Saw him play at River Bluff High School. Good athlete, can shoot it a little bit, but really at his best when he's attacking the rim.
After the brief stoppage of play, wiping some sweat off the floor, Paladins up 1. See, after that last time out, you said you liked what he did. Furman went down low. Here's Pegues from long range. But Furman was able to get a good look down low on the finish. And is Furman settling too much on the early outside shot?
Well, I mean, if you look at their stats, they certainly are. But they are putting an emphasis on getting it inside first. Just a matter of knocking down those shots when possible. Furman so far, 4 of 16 from 3. And only 7 shots inside the arc. But that being said, it's not necessarily just Furman, right? Anderson's doing a nice job converging on the ball whenever the ball gets in the paint. Furman's taking the shots that are given to him. They're just not knocking them down as well as they typically do at only 4 of 16.
Trojans shooting 53% here. About 6 minutes to go in the half. Down low and out Burgett. Working as Huey, partially blocked. Tyrese Huey got a hand on it. Here comes Furman quick.
There's a couple times Pegues is trying to find the raise guy on the backside as opposed to faking out. You're going to be able to find some rolls to the basket. You just got to make it happen quickly. Nice pass, better finish. Mike Bothwell and Tyrese Huey working together nicely.
Furman now 12 points in the paint. Back to a 3-point game. And now shuffling the feet, the ball pressure getting toward the Paladins as J.P. Pegues forces the turnover. J.P. Pegues stepped into a tough role to fill of Alex Hunter, the prolific point guard for Furman a year ago. Didn't turn the ball over a lot, but Pegues,
and Conley Garrison.
But you have Pegues who's come in. He's had a fair share of turnovers, but he shared the basketball really well. Assist to turnover ratio, very, very good. And tell you what, that's tough shoes to fill when you're filling somebody like Alex Hunter and how he distributed the basketball and took care of the basketball. Pegues doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, for the most part. Turnovers are still a little bit too high. He's got 47 on the season, but at the same time, he's stepping into a brand new role and playing alongside 2 guys that can really make things easier for him. It's a bit of an adjustment for him too, knowing he doesn't have to create everything for himself.
Here is Pegues, sends it out top of the key. Huey Slauson will take the 3 and knock it down. Jalen Slauson comes in able to knock it down about 33% from long range, and the Paladins quickly up 6. Double team along the baseline, a whistle. And a turnover will give the ball back to the Paladins. The big 5 minutes here for Anderson. He played well this first half. Still a 2-possession game as you take a look at the turnover.
You
can blink and Furman can go quick.
You've got to maintain. And that's the big thing about Furman. A 6-point lead can turn into a 15-point lead in 3 shots. I mean, that's the hard thing about guarding Furman. But I like what they're doing. They continue to get the ball inside from that angle from the top. And it leads to making difficult double teams, but only if you take the shot attempt quick. Nice entry. He goes up fast, draws the foul.
Well,
that's one Mike Bothwell's got to finish.
Just 2 points, but he made his only field goal attempt. Bothwell's coming off career-high 36-point performance.
That was an incredible performance. That was an incredible performance. He did it by himself. I mean, when I say by himself, he did it in isolation situations. That last shot of the game, they just cleared out one side of the floor and let my man go to work. And he hit a tough shot to finish it.
Thanks to Firth. You're joking with Coach Bob Ritchie for the Paladins before the game about that last play call. He said, yeah, get the ball to Mike and get out of the way.
That's right.
Get out of the way, and he made it work. And I tell you what, we were talking about that. It's pretty good defense by Stephen F. Austin on that last possession. We saw it coming on the broadcast.
Yes.
He said the only thing different, you maybe try to force it to his right hand.
That's right. I mean, that's the only thing you would think. But, you know, even so, you know, you're driving him right into the teeth of the defense. But he makes so many tough shots. He gets to his left hand. He can pick up and finish over top. And that's so difficult to guard if you're an opposing wing.
Paladin lead up to 8. Tough shot knocked down. Hand in the face. Garrett Denbo stops the brief Paladin run. That 8-point lead was Furman's largest, trying to make it 9. How quickly does Marcus Foster get up the court, and that's a 9-point lead? Furman starting to heat up now, up to near 45% from the field. Largest lead now at 9 here in this opening half.
Wow, Miles Jenkins has come ready to play. Strong right-hand finish, going at the SoCon, reigning SoCon Defensive Player of the Year. He's been excellent so far. 13 points.
Carter Witt in for the Paladins, a sophomore out of Raleigh. A Slauson from long range, that's off the mark. Rebound taken down by the Trojans. Here's Luke Denbo into the front court. Burgett, nice pass to Jenkins, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And they continue to be active. Anderson battling down 7 against a Furman team that has gotten some offensive rhythm, Brian.
3:44 to go here in the opening half. Paladins pushing the lead out a bit, up 7 here in Greenville.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
You tried to save a buck on it?
Not so smart.
Well, there is a smarter way to save.
Oh.
Switch to Verizon.
That's right. For a limited time, get Verizon Unlimited for just $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years.
Brilliant!
Only on Verizon.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99. I be like,
Allen and the Bills, Burrow and the Bengals. The stage is set for an epic Monday night matchup.
Paladins here at Timmons Arena, Terrence, they have been a force to reckon with. You'll see near 86% over the last 7+ seasons. Barely losing the non-conference, barely losing the conference, and you say, oh, well, what kind of competition do they have? Oh, you got the likes of Belmont and others rolling through here.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, especially as good as the Southern Conference has been over the past 4, 5, even 6 seasons. And Furman has maintained good play throughout Bob Ritchie's tenure, and even before that when Nico Medved was here. But regardless, it's recruiting the right kids. It's recruiting guys that are high-level scorers and high-level character guys that are going to focus on both ends of the floor. They've had a lot of success doing that.
Yeah, big-time facility upgrades. We've redone the Locker room, state-of-the-art, redone all the coaching suites, the coaching facilities. And then obviously trying to do some more stuff inside Timmons Arena in the short term before hopefully more gets done for the arena. But the schedule this year so far for the Paladins, we talked a little bit about it. They've knocked off the Missouri Valley and Belmont, the SEC in South Carolina, App State in the Sun Belt, Stephen F. Austin in the WAC. So you're not just piling up wins.
Three
you're
or four of those are
wins.
tournament teams. I mean, Stephen F. Austin is going to be a tournament team. They're going to win the Western Athletic Conference. That's just going to happen. Their style of play, how Coach Kyle Keller handles his business and the manner of what they do. So it was an impressive team, and the fact that they came back from 24 down and Furman had to hold them off was impressive in their own right. I'm excited to see Carter Witt get some extended minutes. Wake Forest transfer, you know, he's always been a terrific passer and ball handler, but at the same time, he has some bad habits that he needs to break, especially defensively. He is going to be somebody to watch as his career unfolds here at Furman, but he's got to work on some of those small things.
Huey misses the three. Well, on the offensive end, Anderson a big chance to cut it back to a one-possession game. But Vanderwall anticipates. The freshman going coast to coast. Thought he got fouled, no call, quickly coming back the other way. A lot of contact, no whistle.
Let's be clear, he did get fouled. It was just a no call.
That's off the glass. Vanderwall comes down to grab it. Yeah, almost anticipated the whistle. Was surprised when nothing was called. Here is Carter Witt. Finds Foster. Has Heen top of the key if he wants it, but wants to go all the way himself, and there's the whistle. And it'll be 2 shots now for Marcus Foster. We'll see if we can't get another look at that Vanderwall fast break. The look on the freshman's face was one of astonishment.
He was bewildered. And let's say this, if his name is Mike Bothwell, he's probably getting this call. Welcome to college basketball. Yeah, without question, a missed call. Vanderwall trying to be aggressive. Good defensive possession. You know, getting out, getting the steal. Ben Vanderwall's been good, and he's been one of the pleasant surprises of this team. You have Marcus Foster, who's looking to take a step. You obviously have Slauson and Bothwell. Man, Marcus Foster's already got 14 points. I didn't even realize that. He has snuck them in on us.
Efficient 5 of 8 from the field. Knocked down both his free throws. Furman have now hit 8 of 10 from the line. 8-point lead. One off the Paladins' largest lead, which is 9 here. 2.5 to go. Coach Jimmy Williams' squad trying to keep this within a 10-point game toward the half. Nice backdoor pass to Denbo. Can't finish.
Goodness, that was a lot of contact.
Bothwell into the front court. Witt, open 3 on the way. Yes, rattles it home. Carter Witt with his first bucket. And the lead in double digits for the first time in 11.
Carter Witt has time and space. He can absolutely knock it down.
Tough shot, knocked down. Luke Denbo, the freshman with a hand in his face. Just when you think every chance Furman's trying to put some distance, Trojans come up with a big shot. Luke Denbo on the night now with 5.
His high school's all-time leading scorer. Nice patience by Foster. Even better defense by Anderson.
Jimmy Williams wants his team to go quick. Here, Miles Jenkins sends it to the corner. 3 on the way, yes. Garrett Denbo, the Denbo brothers, a quick 5, and it's a 6-point game. Timeout taken by the Paladins as a quick 5-0 run takes an 11-point lead down to 6.
Good unselfish play, Miles Jenkins. Whenever you have a few possessions where you've had success scoring the ball, sometimes you can get a little overeager. Gets down the floor, draws the defense in, hits Denbo for a wide open 3 in the corner.
Furman currently sits at 91 as you see that tough 2-point jumper by Denbo.
There it is, the Denbo brothers knocking him down. They can both score at a high level. One, the older guy, knocking down that shot in the corner. Luke Denbo, though, he does more of his off the bounce, using the pick and roll, the lefty. Kind of squirrely with his handle. Both very nice players in their own right.
It's going to be fun, too, to play with your brother.
Absolutely.
Grew up playing, you had a little time off as one was a little bit older. Tell you what, I have a brother who's 18 months older, and tell you what, we were competitive about anything and everything, and my parents eventually had us kind of focus on different sports by choice. And looking back, they always joke, Terrence, they were so glad we didn't take the same thing because they couldn't have handled it. You just used to being the best, so you didn't matter who came up with you, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was ready to kill everybody else. But if you see the Denbo brothers together, Luke Denbo certainly won the battle of the hair. I've never seen so many man buns on one team. And Anderson's got a plethora of man buns.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're qualified to talk about hair, considering.
I feel like I'm an expert because
you don't have any.
Yeah, considering I don't have any, and I'm insanely jealous of everybody who does. Little zone look by Anderson, just to get Furman out of sorts. Little curveball, if you will. You know, Bob Ritchie tried to draw some. Hey, come on, guys. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Witt trying for his second from long range. See, nothing gets by these guys.
Unbelievable.
Look at Did you see the glare when they went?
Yeah, I did.
3-point missed, and now the Trojans can make it again, a one-possession game here. Clock approaching a minute to go in the half. You like that move by Jimmy Williams to go to the zone?
I was more concerned with Jeff Schaetzle's move to go to the camera.
Oh, Bothwell with the rebound, quickly the other way. Pegues down the right side, count it. JP Pegues.
I love it. Way to run the floor, excellent pass, but you better get back. Oh, wow.
Missed by Garrett Denbo. Furman with the basketball, 14-second differential shot in game. Can try for a little 2-for-1. Pegues from 3, yes.
And that goes back to what's been happening. They are attacking the rim and taking shots that are available. Bothwell getting his teammate involved. Nice move. Pegues, that's his third 3 of the contest.
Just like that, Furman, a 5-0 run of their own. Shot clock and game clock about identical. It could have been an offensive foul, not called. 3-pointer off the mark, and whistle, and are they going to get Slauson? They're going to get Jalen Slauson. That's going to be a 1-and-1 against, or for Anderson as that foul's called, and we'll have to get another look.
I think Bob Ritchie disagrees. But the ball goes up. Here's the thing. You better get down. That's a good call. Slauson holding the other team down, going over the top. I'm not sure it was on Slauson. It looked more like Pegues. But regardless, you need to do your early work and maintain your discipline. If they're playing Chattanooga, Slauson's boxing out, right? Maintain your discipline. Do the right things as Ian, my main man Ian, knocks down his first one. Nice looking follow through. Ian Thompson, the freshman.
It's just 37%. It was 3 of 8 from the line coming in. Knocked down the big end of a 1-and-1. Paladins will get a chance for the last possession with 14 ticks on the clock as the second one's short. 10-point lead with a bucket. Furman would push the lead to the largest it is in this first 20 minutes of action. Pegues, top of the key over to Witt. He'll fire a 3-pointer off the rim, and that will take us to the end of the first half. A methodical first half that sees the Paladins leading Anderson just down I-85, 46-36 here in Greenville. First half stats and highlights coming up on the other side here from Timmons Arena.
At Booking.com, finding perfect isn't all that difficult. Beachfront property, no problem. Kitchen, how are you guys? Got it. And EV charging. Find your perfect place to stay. Booking.com. Yeah.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I sold my car to Carvana, and it was awesome. I heard about Carvana through friends, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was easy. I input information about the car, including the mileage, the VIN number, answered a few questions, and got a real offer in seconds. It felt too good to be true. It was a lot higher than I expected. A Carvana advocate came to my house. As soon as they accepted my car, they paid me on the spot. I couldn't believe it. I recommend it to anyone. Try it for yourself. Go to Carvana.com and get an offer for your car. At Carvana.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
You tried to save a buck on it.
Not so smart.
Well, there is a smarter way to save.
Oh.
Switch to Verizon.
That's right. For a limited time, get Verizon Unlimited for just $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years.
Brilliant!
Only on Verizon.
When they're sick, they get comfortable anywhere and spread germs everywhere. Wherever they rest, protection. Nothing kills more viruses, including the COVID-19 virus, on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
This time could be up there with the greatest of times. And it starts now.
You gotta be kidding me!
This broadcast of college basketball is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. By Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you. By Ingles, low prices, love the savings. And by Pepsi, that's what I like. There you see the young son of Anderson head coach Jimmy Williams getting some shots up there before the game. We got a little scrimmage going on out here. Terrence, all rules have been thrown out that I knew about college basketball or any basketball.
I think it's 11 on 11 happening out here currently. Now they're going to switch basketballs mid-game. I'm a big fan of that as well.
Taking it back, quick first half stats. Is Anderson, they did a lot right in that first half to stay within 10.
Well, they certainly did. I mean, they shot the ball early. They came out with energy. They were closing out with purpose and then really doubling hard on the post. That gave Furman some trouble at the beginning, but Furman started to figure it out as the half wore on.
Coming up on the BMW halftime show, we'll take a look at first half stats, break down the highlights, and then relook at the first half top performers. All that and more here on the BMW halftime show. Again, where your score at the half, Furman 46, Anderson 36.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. It tastes like it's just the top of the line peppermint. For me, no milkshake is topping the Peppermint Chip Milkshake.
Hi, my name is Madison, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is how it just makes me feel like a kid again. I love the cherry on top and the sweet peppermint bark flavor. It's definitely on my list of things that bring me joy around the holidays.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
You tried to save a buck on it.
I got what I paid for. Not so smart.
Nah, you're still a genius, but there is a smarter way to save.
Oh.
Switch to Verizon. For a limited time, get Welcome Unlimited for just $25 a line.
$25?
And it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Brilliant!
Well, you would know.
I'm switching.
I think the bike's probably faster.
Now is the best time to switch to Verizon for just $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. The savings that last on the network you want. Verizon.
92% of households that kick off the year with Peloton are still active a year later? Yeah, actively using it as a coat rack.
Congrats on 50 rides!
Okay, but it's still just a fad. Just an elitist fitness cult.
Come on, guys, I know this isn't easy, but we got this.
You'll give up eventually.
Seriously? 92%.
92% stick with it. So can you. Get $500 off Peloton packages. Terms apply.
Hey, you. It's that time of year again.
Football, baby!
When it's okay to get a little carried away for football. To feel all the Week 18 feels for football. It's okay to do this, or even that.
I don't know what that is.
And it's definitely okay to get wild on Wild Card Monday. So if you want to waddle, sauce, chase, and cheese, it's all okay. Why? Because this is playoff season.
Welcome back to Greenville. Bryant Lambert alongside Terrence Oglesby here on the BMW Halftime Report. Tell you what, we got something like an 11-on-11 action going on out here. You said not a lot of court space.
Not a lot of floor space for these guys out here, no.
Tell you what, entertaining first half here between the Paladins and the Trojans. Jimmy Williams and the Anderson staff, they knew how to scout this Furman team, and you saw some of that in that first half. As you take a look at the highlights, really a game of runs. Furman pulled away, and then Anderson stayed right there the entire first half.
Well, they were double teaming the post, and initially that gave Furman trouble, but it's really been Anderson playing with pace, getting out, contesting shots. But Furman, for the most part, whenever they were able to turn it on and get going out in transition, that's when they hurt Anderson. But Anderson's here to compete. Some nice passes, running their offense at a high clip. And Miles Jenkins has been really, really good attacking the rim.
It was Greco who hit some tough shots. Paladins gave up the lead briefly midway through that first half. A spurt put them up by 11. But then you thought the patience and the defense really got things going for the Paladins. A couple easy buckets on the run out. There's run by Foster. And then maybe some inside-out shots really helped Furman push the lead out. And the bank was open early for Anderson.
Well, they started entering the ball from the top of the key, and that makes it much harder and much longer as far as rotations are concerned for Anderson to get there and double the post, right? So they turn around, they make quick moves, and after they hit a couple of those shots and see the ball go through the net, then guys start raining them in from the perimeter.
Tough baseline shot there, knocked down by Denbo. Paladins got it going from the outside, did knock down 8 from long range. Had a couple good looks. Carter Witt came in and gave a spark for the Paladins.
Gave a little bit of spark, pushed it out in transition. It's been the Denbo brothers. It's been Miles Jenkins for Anderson. And for Furman, it's been all Marcus Foster, who has played really, really well here early.
Paladins led by as many as 11. The halftime score sits at 10. As you take a look at these first half stats on the BMW halftime report, Anderson shot the basketball really well, near 50%, actually out-rebounded the Paladins.
And that's a concern.
That's the size you talked about.
That's a concern, especially coming off an emotional win. You got to get your seniors. They got to bring those guys together, play with intensity, box out a little bit harder, and finish out on a good note as you head into Christmas. It's huge, right? Neither team's shooting the ball especially well. They're starting to create some turnovers, as evidenced by the 8 for Anderson. Furman's got to get out and run, finish possessions, and really assert their strength, both on the perimeter and in the post.
Only 3 turnovers for the Paladins that first half. Did protect the basketball well in that first half. As you take a look at these first half stats presented by Pepsi. Approaching second half action here in Greenville, we'll take a look at the top performers on the other side of the break, as Furman has a 10-point lead here from Timmons Arena between the Paladins and the Trojans.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. It tastes like it's just the top of the line peppermint. For me, no milkshake is topping the Peppermint Chip Milkshake.
Hi, my name is Madison, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is how it just makes me feel like a kid again. I love the cherry on top and the sweet peppermint bark flavor. It's definitely on my list of things that bring me joy around the holidays.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
I sold my car to Carvana and it was awesome. I heard about Carvana through friends, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was easy. I input information about the car, including the mileage, the VIN number, answered a few questions, and got a real offer in seconds. It felt too good to be true. It was a lot higher than I expected. A Carvana advocate came to my house. As soon as they accepted my car, they paid me on the spot. I couldn't believe it. I recommend it to anyone. Try it for yourself. Go to Carvana.com and get an offer for your car. At Carvana.
92% of households that kick off the year with Peloton are still active a year later? Yeah, actively using it as a coat rack.
Congrats on 50 rides!
Okay, but it's still just a fad. Just an elitist fitness cult.
Come on, guys, I know this isn't easy, but we got this.
You'll give up eventually.
Seriously? 92%.
92% stick with it. So can you. Get $500 off Peloton packages. Terms apply.
Back to work? Back to work?
We've all got work worries. They're annoying little things that never leave us alone.
Deadlines!
Even at work. But you can get them under control. Asana makes work easier for your team, so you can focus on all the things that matter instead of just worrying about work. Make work work for you with Asana.
Welcome back to the BMW Halftime Show. Taking a look at the first half top performers. First, as you take a look at this 10-point lead, Terrence, you looked and said, hey, Bothwell only one shot attempt. JP McGee's had 11, but you got it right when you highlighted at the beginning of the game, Miles Jenkins, 14 points and efficient while he's done it, 5 of 7 from the field.
Well, so strong physically. That's the big thing, and he can attack the rim. And he's an excellent cutter off the basketball as well. Only a sophomore. Miles Jenkins is going to score a lot of points in an Anderson uniform.
For the Paladins, Marcus Foster, 15 points, 3 of 6 from long range. Maybe, I tell you what, he got some looks. Is that because so much attention to Bothwell and others, or is he just finding him in the right spots?
Well, he's been in the right spots, and he's played with intentionality, right? Get out in the passing lanes, get some rebounds, and take off and play. He's been the guy that has brought effort for this Furman team, running the floor. The ball's finding him that way. You do the small things, and you're going to be rewarded for it. And Marcus Foster has been rewarded for it.
All non-conference action so far. You take a look at the Ingles Southern Conference standings. Again, conference play starts right after the holiday break. Furman 8-4 up there with Chattanooga. What a year Jake Stevens, the VMI transfer graduate, followed his coach Dan Earl to Chattanooga. He's putting up almost 30 points a game.
Well, now, and he's got some other teammates around him as opposed to VMI teammates. And Dan Earl is a terrific X's and O's coach. Now, that all being said, this is a 4-horse race as far as I'm concerned. Furman, Chattanooga, Sanford, and UNC Greensboro are the teams to look out for as we head into conference play. All four very well coached. All four have individual playmaking. It's going to be an excellent race to the top in the Southern Conference this season.
See the Paladins huddling up before going to their bench. Terrence, you and I saw something. We've called a lot of games at Furman and seen Bob Ritchie. He walked out with about 6 minutes on the halftime clock, sat on the bench, and very rarely, if ever, have you seen him do that. And
This is not
between the tea leaves.
Yeah, this is not a Bob Ritchie situation. This is a players holding players accountable situation. This is where you older guys need to take control of the huddle. Mike Bothwell needs to step up and speak up to his younger teammates to get those guys in order. You need to do the small things if you're Jalen Slauson to ignite the break, bring the passion, bring the energy on the boards and on the defensive end.
Last minute instructions there from Coach Ritchie. Furman, we talked about on those stats, out-rebounded in that first half. Took care of the basketball, only turned it over 3 times, but you talked about maybe the hustle plays, maybe the intangibles. Something to watch. It will be Furman basketball to start this second half, and we'll see the attention that those starting 5 out right from the start for this second 20 minutes. McGee, Slauson, Bothwell, Vanderwall, and Heen, the 5 out for the Paladins.
Vanderwall is another guy that can bring energy just through how he plays. Attacking the rim. There hasn't been a charge taken. That's another thing. Furman is excellent in that department. They have not gotten to spots in a hurry. Uh-oh.
Backdoor Slauson, who slams it home after halftime, drawn up to perfection.
You have to like it, using Anderson's aggressiveness against him. Perfect pass by Garrett Heen for the flush.
Slauson now with 7. Lead at 12, the largest has been through just over 20 minutes of action. See Slauson locked in defensively, half-court man-to-man.
Oh, what
nice
a pass.
Backdoor play, blocked by Heen out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. Miles Jenkins, I know that shot got blocked, but the awareness on that pass to go left, pass it around the defense with his offhand, that's pretty good.
Shot clock now at 7, didn't reset as it didn't hit the rim. Finds a cutting Jenkins, runs into Vanderwall, and Tell you what, Jenkins just ran right through the plate.
Miles Jenkins is really good. At 6'4", 220 pounds, that's what he's listed at. And in my mind, when I saw him in high school, I thought he was a little bit under-recruited. But Jimmy Williams got a really good one.
Jenkins 61% from the line. Coming in now 3 of 5 from the line. One more upcoming for the sophomore out of Lexington, South Carolina. And makes the second.
Play with pace right here if you're JP Pegues. Enter that ball quickly, cut hard. Initiate your offense. Very good. You come off, you're wide open. That ball needs to go to Bothwell. He can turn the corner.
Double team, now triple team comes. Garrett
Oh my goodness, he went for it, didn't he?
Did his best Jalen Slauson impression. Was going for the two-handed tomahawk. He'll go to the line for two. Take another look.
Well, a good offense all the way around. The double team comes, and that's when a cutter needs to make his way there. Intelligent cut by Heen and an excellent pass. Jalen Slauson hitting him on a dime. You have to applaud. It didn't end up in an and one, but you have to applaud the aggressiveness. And with Garrett Heen, somebody who that hasn't always been the case, kind of egged that on a little bit.
So much of this Furman offense moving without the basketball, cutting, and you see 3 players go straight to Slauson. You have to cut toward the basket there. Heen did that, got rewarded, and tell you what, made the first and left the second one just a wee bit short. That's a good free throw shooter that just did that too. Garrett Heen comes in.
I think that ball slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, you would hope so. I mean, he came in, he could knock him down. It's not like he's one that can't find the rim. Still a 12-point game as Anderson turns it over, a miscommunication, back over to the Paladins. Mason Carver.
That's a brother-to-brother miscommunication. You'd think that wouldn't happen all that often.
You think they'll talk about after the game who's the responsible party for that one? Bothwell will come back, and
I love how
watch
Bothwell,
up for this. He ran back down, and so something's going on. Watch number 3.
It's that, and it's knowing that Jimmy Williams knows your play calls. That's what that is.
Here's Bothwell trying to back down the smaller defender. One-on-one, double team comes. Heen, top of the key, open three-pointer on the way.
I'll tell you what, as long as it's not a free throw.
Same line.
Yeah, same line, just a little bit further out. Knocks it in, Garrett Heen. But that's what he can do. In all seriousness, Miles Jenkins is coming ready to play on every possession. He's been impressive.
Carver looking to respond, and he does. Carver open from the corner, the extra pass knocks it down. Carver comes in, 39% from long range on the year. Vanderwall, count it.
That is a grown man move from a grown freshman, if you will. Mr. Vanderwall coming in, getting to his strong hand, using those broad shoulders and long arms to get over the top. Nice move to the middle.
You sense a little more aggression out of this Furman team on the offense. You talked about playing with pace on offense, but putting your head down, attacking, cutting quicker.
Well, if nothing else, that advance pass really makes things go faster because you're forced, because you're playing on a run. You don't slow the ball down in the half court. That advance pass, you get to run directly to your spot, and guys can go quicker. And who else but Mr. Vanderwall and a flush to capitalize.
Get up, young fella.
He is that energy giver, doing everything not on the stat sheet, but he does get a couple of stats on that.
17-point lead, the largest for Furman. High off the glass, no. Paladins quick. Pegues has Bothwell in the corner and wants to go the other way. Nice find to Heen. Count it. And a 19-point lead. Furman's come out hot in the second half, outscoring Anderson 13-4.
And it's all been playing with pace. Little no look. Garrett Heen getting it up off the board quickly for a 2.
Goes off Garrett Heen, stays with Anderson, 19.
Attention to detail this half has been terrific. 13-4 run since the beginning of the second half. Furman really coming out with a purpose.
See the defensive intensity as well. 5-second call on the inbound, and Anderson turns it over for the 11th time. I think the focus was captured. First 2.5 minutes, forced 3 turnovers, playing a little quicker, a little crisper.
Well, I saw Bob Ritchie come out of the locker room a little early with a scowl on his face, and I knew We needed to choose our words carefully, being that we are right behind it.
Trying to backdoor pass to Heen, a little bit out of his face. Yeah, you've already done your part to fire him up in some pregame conversation. 19-point lead, Trojans with the basketball. Wild shot attempt off the mark. Heen there with the rebounds. Furman dominating the glass here in the second 20. Heen.
Yeah, can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. But still, it's the pace you play with, right? JP's bringing it up with good pace. JP Pegues pitches it back. That's one that Garrett Heen needs to take care of. You have an open driving lane, put that ball down.
A lot of times you talk about the trailer and the secondary fast break. A lot of times, even when you played, you're about 3 or 4 steps behind that break, the pitch back, quick shot. But you got to be ready to know what you're going to do with the basketball. If not, big block by Slauson, nice offensive board. You get in those situations where you shuffle your feet.
Well, that's right, and that's a two-parter, right? If you're JP Pegues, maybe you could slow down a little bit, attack the elbow, and then pitch back to give Garrett Heen a little bit of a different look to where he doesn't feel like he's in such a rush.
He sends it to Vanderwall to the corner. That three-pointer off the mark. Battle for the rebound taken down by Carver. Carver looking to go coast to coast. Little fadeaway off the glass. Carver now with 7 and is back to a 59-44 game.
And there's the pace that you play with. This is where Furman can get you. Now get back, set your defense. Off a make, Furman's defense improves drastically.
Foster and Joe Anderson off the bench. They'll check in next. Dead ball is a three-pointer. Garrett Denbo knocks it down. Anderson now 5 of 13 from long range. I'm going to say that was a 2, rather. Vanderwall bump, no call. Takes it all the way, and there's 2, and it'll be Vanderwall at the line to shoot him. Big aggressive by the freshman.
Well, being aggressive and making sharp, crisp passes and creating a closeout, that's when Vanderwall can get you. Furman is showing their aggressiveness on the offensive side of the floor. Defense starting to pick up as well. Now, with a 15-point lead for the Paladins.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. Come in now and choose from a great selection of new Ford trucks and SUVs, in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select vehicles, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is arriving daily, so you can drive one home for the holidays. Lock in this low rate plus make no payments for up to 90 days on a new 2022 Ford F-150. Choose from 6,000 trucks and SUVs, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Jewelry has always been the most powerful gift of love, whether it's an engagement or an anniversary. Here at Hales, we're in the business of celebrating your life's most special moments, from the past, the present, and the future. Being Greenville's oldest business means we understand that we're only as good as how you feel when you leave the store. We welcome you to visit our flagship jewelry store.
Happily ever Hales.
This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, potato chips, nope, education. This investment, it builds jobs and more jobs where people create things like flying, not that. Who does all this? Forward-thinking pilgrims of change, like you. South Carolina. Now that's smart.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com to make an appointment.
15-point Paladin lead. Vanderwall will go to the line to shoot 2. Holidays in full session. That lets the kids stay up a little later. I saw yours running around over there.
They just got here. Christmas coming early for my children, simply because my family, parts of my family are going back home. When I say back home, back overseas to Norway. So they get to see their grandmother and their uncle right before they go back to where they live. So they get to open up presents a little early, which is nice. And it's been a present for Furman in the second half, as hard as they've been playing and picking up their intensity. Led off by Ben Vanderwall.
Vanderwall 2 at the line. He now has 10. Majority coming in the second half. One more upcoming for the freshman. You want to say, you know, you take a message to heart. It hadn't just been on the offensive end. He got a steal that led to 2 points, and he checks out, and he gets a good hand from the bench as Joe Anderson checks back in. Tell you what, look at some of this leadership by Slauson. He went right to Joe Anderson. Hey, let's get a stop. So you called out Slauson and Bothwell a little bit with the intensity. See if these seniors lead in the second half.
Well, just look at the defensive stance right away for Jalen Slauson. Staying in front. Nice move by Jenkins regardless. You have to be impressed with this young man. Playing with assertiveness, using all 220 pounds to get some leverage, to create some angles, to make passes or finish. It's been good today. See Joe Anderson a little bit, number 22 for Furman. He is a terrific passer and an energy guy offensively.
Bothwell into the lane, contact, yeah, late whistle will be 2 at the line for Mike Bothwell. Here's hit on the wrist. The fifth year, just 4 points, only 1 field goal attempt, and there you'll see, no doubt about it, got hit on the offhand.
That's excellent work. Get downhill. 4 fouls.
Burgett, some size at 6'7", picks up his 4th. Bothwell will go to the line to shoot 2 to try to push the lead back to the Paladins' largest, which has been 19. Tell you what, when you look at Mike Bothwell and you come in on a game like today where, okay, you're probably going to get keyed on, just 5 points. He has 7 assists.
That's exactly
right.
So,
you know, you're distributing the basketball and you're embracing the role that you're playing in tonight's game, which is sharing. And now a whistleless Tyrese Huey will get called for a push.
I don't love that call. That's just one guy being bigger than the other guy. But regardless, you were talking about Mike Bothwell, and you have to applaud his effort, because anytime you're going to go for 36 points, you're going to be keyed on, you're going to be locked in on, make plays when you draw that extra defense, and 7 assists so far tonight certainly says that he has been.
Loose along the baseline, out of bounds. Will stay with the Trojans.
Anderson loves going baseline because it sets up that baseline drive, baseline drift. They've gotten several shots off of it. Furman now starting to key in on it and switch their help side over a little bit quicker, making it more difficult to make those passes and further distances to make those passes.
Ian Thompson, redshirt freshman out of Simpsonville, looking to go to work, picks up his dribble, nowhere to go with the basketball. Tries a backdoor pass, tipped with 5 to shoot. Now 2 out of bounds, turns it over for the 12th time to the Trojans. And tell you what, that's full team defense there on that 28 seconds.
That's absolutely right. Staying in front, closing out, and then getting there on the next pass. Good closeouts are key to a good defense. Furman exhibiting just that.
Anderson, open 3 on the way, off the mark, got a good look. Couldn't knock it down, and now the Trojans quickly in the backcourt.
The shots in the first are still the shots in the second. That's good defense by Marcus Foster, and it doesn't matter.
Jenkins now with 17, 6 of 8 from the field, not fazed by the defense.
I like this being calm, but look how Anderson has 5 guys in the paint when somebody posts up. They're willing to live with Furman shooting from the perimeter and contesting late. And when you knock down shots like Jalen Slauson on that possession, it's going to open things up.
That's something Jimmy Williams and the staff probably live with. Say, hey,
absolutely,
pack it in, Slauson. I mean, he can make that shot, and that's what makes him difficult to defend. But now with 10 points, and Paladins tie their largest lead at 19.
That's a nice move. Denbo. Now look, Marcus Foster needs to get over that screen. You need to maintain your assertiveness, and if there is no screen, you have to maintain your position. Now that's a hard play because you're put in a tough spot, but if you're in a stance from the beginning of that play, there is no foul call. Regardless, Denbo has been scoring at a high level for Anderson all season. those sort of things are going to happen.
Garrett Denbo leads the way, almost 16 points a game for the Trojans, now with 12. Cuts this Furman lead down to 16. It was 10 at the half.
I love Joe Anderson's pace. He brings it up fast every time down the court, even when they need to slow it down. Defensively, though, is where he could tighten up a little bit.
Offensive rebound on the Heen miss. Furman gets a fresh 20. Over to Foster, 3 on the way, in and out. Tell you what, Tyrese Huey, he's playing tough on the offensive glass. Furman now out rebounding Anderson from the offensive end.
That's losing focus. Off the basketball, that's losing focus. But regardless, Anderson playing with pace, getting into the lane. You turn your head. The Denbo brothers love the corners.
It's 5
nice
from long
move.
range. As Joe, we talked about playing with pace. That's a quick move there by Joe Anderson off the glass.
And he does that. He does that for your basketball team.
Quick 3, hand in the face. What else can Miles Jennings do? Down to a 12-point game. That gets Pegues and Slauson back off the bench.
20 for Jenkins. And it's been inside, it's been outside. He's knocked down some threes. He's taking it to the cup. When they get into conference play, Anderson's going to win some ball games. They just have to figure each other out in the early going. Gotta like this, the effort level. If you're Furman, they're trying to do the right things for the most part here in the second half. Jimmy Williams has his Trojans playing extremely hard.
That last foul against Garrett Denbo. Anderson sends it to the corner. Pegues tries another 3-pointer, knocks it down. JP Pegues now 4 3-pointers. Give the sophomore 14.
Good hustle back. Garrett Heen retreating and playing hard, getting back on the defensive end.
Furman, 5 players in double digits.
And the ball movement is crisp. And JP Pegues, that's his 4th of the game, shooting the ball well. Furman taking off with it.
I was thinking of spending some time as Iron Man, with thrusters for feet and hands like cannons. Is that too much to ask?
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. It tastes like it's just the top of the line peppermint. For me, no milkshake is topping the Peppermint Chip Milkshake.
Hi, my name is Madison, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is how it just makes me feel like a kid again. I love the cherry on top and the sweet peppermint bark flavor. It's definitely on my list of things that bring me joy around the holidays.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
What's it like shopping on Carvana? It's a car buying process that lets you shop tens of thousands of cars 100% online. So you can buy, sell, or even trade your car from anywhere. It's getting as soon as next day delivery, or picking your new ride up at one of our sleek car vending machines. And it's the comfort of a 7-day return policy to make sure it fits your life. Because at Carvana, we take joy in making every customer, well, happy. Carvana. We'll drive you happy.
92% of households that kick off the year with Peloton are still active a year later? Yeah, actively using it as a coat rack.
Congrats on 50 rides!
$15-point Paladin lead over the Trojans here. Just under 12 minutes to go in the second half. Bryant Lambert alongside Terrence Oglesby with you. Here's both teams, though, shooting north of 50%. Anderson knocked down their last 4 from the field.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. There's no quitting these Trojans. I mean, that's a big thing. Still playing hard. Led by Miles Jenkins. Mr. Denbo, or one of the Denbos, rather. They're playing well. Furman defensively really picked it up early in the second half, but Anderson just finding ways to score. And quite frankly, Bryant, some of those buckets have been difficult buckets here in the second.
We talked about Miles Jenkins. Not sure what else you can say. Showed he can do it inside and outside. Paladins, though, got to be impressed, you know, balanced scoring. You have 5 players in double digits, nobody with more than 15 with Marcus Foster, but a lot of folks have been getting involved. Will be Anderson basketball coming out of the timeout. Tell you what Thompson thought about that three, and then it goes down low, blocked away. Pegues trying to lead the break. Lawson skips it over to Heen in the corner, thought about a three.
Oh, I like this action. That's well done by Garrett Heen. Not able to convert.
Just too hard, went through the hands of Slauson, quickly going the other way now. It is Garrett Denbo, sends it to the corner, three on the way, knocked down by Luke, brother to brother.
Denbo to Denbo.
Back to a 12-point game now at 72-60. That's the 7th three knocked down by Anderson. Slauson is going to try to hit another one. Jalen Slauson, he has 13 and 3 from long range, looking comfortable beyond the arc. And that's not unusual. If folks say, hey, look, Slauson steps out there, got a lot of height on him at 6'7", very comfortable hitting the three-point.
Shooting 35% on the season. That's the one thing that a lot of people question with Jalen Slauson. He's proven a lot of people wrong in the early going of this season. And if he's able to knock down those shots, and at the next level, knock down shots from the corner, I mean, that's definitely going to help some things. Simple shot, not a whole lot of wasted motion.
Trying to inbound the basketball. Anderson turns it over. Anderson now 13 turnovers on the night. It led to 17 Furman points. Paladins, on the other hand, only turned it over 6 times as Joe Anderson leads the offense.
5 Paladins in double figures so far today.
Vanderwall. Anderson still plenty of time on the shot clock at 10. Pegues tries to back down Denbo, finds Slauson. Outmatched down low, big block. How about Ian Thompson stands up to Slauson and gets the block.
Wow, just bodies everywhere.
3 off the mark. 3 Paladins that hit the floor, now out. As JP Pegues is able to count it. And a foul, and JP Pegues, who snuck out from the scrum, will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
That was an I'm playing harder than you finish. Bodies on the floor. Furman retrieves possession. And the look ahead, Pegues with a nice finish.
Talked about effort, though. On the other end of the court, you saw 3 white jerseys on the hardwood. It led to a three-point on the scramble.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was intentional or not. Like
pinball?
I love to give credit where credit's due when guys are getting on the floor. I think about 3 of them fell.
Did you ever dive for a ball?
No, not on purpose.
Not on purpose. But you know what, Gio? There's something about your honesty that everybody appreciates.
Yeah.
You never go. That ball tipped. Bothwell up to Slauson. Man. Ball lost out of his hand. Tell you what, Jalen Slauson had dreams of top 10 again, but settles for the layup. Furman now pushes it to 20 for the first time. Been a very methodical run to push this lead out as the Paladins have outscored Anderson 8-0 the last 90 seconds.
That's the hard thing. Everybody's like, get on the floor, get on the floor. When you do those loose ball drills, I used to wait till the other guy dove, and then I could jump on top of him. Smarter, not harder.
That's the saying. I just don't know if that's the intentionality of how they meant to.
I'm not catching those hip bone bruises.
Slauson now 4 from long range, and tell you what, just like that, the Paladins look up and they're up 23.
Slauson gets his average of 18 and 6 and has to come out of the game.
Garrett Heen will jog to the table. Tell you what, it has started on the defensive end. A lot of deflections.
That's right. They're playing well defensively.
Offense.
I say that tongue-in-cheek. Jalen Slauson's played well in the second half and been a leader for this team. But Miles Jenkins, man, has been a situation for Anderson. Aggressive with the drive, knocking down shots. Mike Bothwell, though, there's not a better scorer underneath 6'4" in the country than him.
Bothwell now with 7 points, made both his field goal attempts. And that's on a made basket. Bothwell gets down the court and almost starts a little bit of a fast break to get the points right back. Here's Greco, step back, gets the friendly roll. Greco,
tough, you got to get over that screen.
Double digits.
You got to get over that screen if you're Furman. They set it a little too deep, and now the game is starting to unravel a little bit. Getting some open shots. Mike Bothwell crashing the offensive glass. Took a lick.
Furman now 7 offensive rebounds. JP Pegues got the open look, and good sportsmanship by
elbow right in the
Greco,
face.
though. Greco comes right over.
Yeah, nothing intentional.
Yep. A lot of respect between both these programs. So you talked about the SAC being a very competitive Division II conference, but you think what you've seen out of these Trojans, they got all the pieces to maybe surprise some teams a little bit in the SAC this year?
I think surprise some teams is a good way to put that. There's a lot of really good teams. Lincoln Memorial is a perennial power in Division II basketball. They get a lot of really good players to come to a small town in Harrogate, Tennessee, and they're consistently a problem. They go up against Carson Newman, who plays a 2-3 zone with the best shot blocker in Division II basketball, a UNC Charlotte transfer, and Bryant Thomas. Really, really good conference.
Bothwell checks out. Vanderwall, we talked about him playing. You got Vanderwall, who's matched a career high with 11 points. Mike Bothwell, career high 8 assists. So maybe not doing it on the score sheet, but we talked about what he's doing distributing the basketball. And
career highs on back-to-back nights. Nice closeout to get in the passing lanes. JP Pegues showing off his athleticism. And Ben Vanderwall just knows when to cut. That's a skill. Knowing where to cut when other guys have the basketball. That's why Ben Vanderwall fits so well with this Furman basketball team.
Under 8 media timeout. Furman pulling away up 23 over Anderson here in Greenville.
Are you kidding me? Is that for me? How? Oh, just see what you got your mom.
The BMW Road Homes on now. Receive a credit of up to $50 on select models now through January 3rd.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
It's bow time. This is Larry. And this is the big, bold, hand-breaded Bo's chicken sandwich. Larry knew he couldn't. He shouldn't. I mean, he is a chicken after all. But Larry craved this flavor-packed hunk of sandwich. And before he knew it, his little chicken heart belonged to Bojangles forever. Thanks to a sandwich so juicy, so tender, even a chicken wants to eat it.
Larry, people are trying to eat!
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up, and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
Furman pushing the lead out to 23. Balanced attack tonight. We mentioned all the double-digit scores. Jalen Slauson trying to say, hey, I can knock it down from long range.
Yeah, it took him a second, and one noticeable absence on there is Mike Bothwell, who went for 36 last game. It's been winning by committee, winning actions by committee, especially here in the second half. Marcus Foster kept everybody afloat in the first. In the second, guys are playing together, getting out, creating some turnovers, and playing with pace offensively.
Here's the freshman out of Elmhurst, Illinois with a new career high. Tell you what, I think he might be the one between the first half and second half answered the bell in terms of intensity right out of that second half gate.
That's
Steal
who he
that went
is.
to point. That's kind of, you talk the coaching staff, that's exactly you talked about who he is and to the core.
That's who he is, and that's why he's seeing so many minutes early in this season. And it's because he's an energy guy that can play alongside superstars. And when you have superstars already, you need a bunch of janitors around him. You don't necessarily need another superstar, right? And he fits that bill of a role guy.
Quick trigger three off the mark. Rebound taken down by J.P. Pegues.
It's kind of like Alex Caruso said when he was playing in the G League. And he goes from the G League to the NBA. And he's like, you know, there's a lot of guys who think they need to score 30 points. The NBA needs guys that are willing to do the dirty work, the janitors of the NBA. And that's who gets minutes. And he's been rewarded handsomely because of that. And that's just Garrett Heen being bigger than everybody else on the floor.
Heen doing the dirty work will go to the line. Mentioned the Paladins.
I'm bigger than you. This is me playing 21 with my kids right here. He's just bigger.
One day, you're not going to be able to beat your kids, and
I'll break his arm. I'll break his arm, Bryant. No, I'm just kidding. But Garrett Heen.
You're gonna have everybody tweeting at you, calling you now.
Yeah, no.
Let's just clear. You love your son. Great kid, good athlete.
He's a great kid, excellent kid, makes good grades.
Does all the things that you didn't do as a child.
I would never break my son's arm, obviously, but
you get into, we talked about.
No, competitiveness is big time.
Anderson in the sack, we talked about. Furman in the Southern Conference, they'll open up with VMI, and then they'll have Western Carolina on the road, but. Furman right now tops in the Southern Conference in the Kim Palm, about 90th, and it's a very, very competitive league. Wow, that's just a doing everything shot. But you get into Southern Conference play, it's a game that Furman's going to have to be ready for. They're going to get everybody's shot night in, night out as they try to get to the top of the mountain in the Southern Conference.
Well, that's exactly right. And, you know, you have to keep in mind, too, when you're voted #1 in the preseason, you're everybody's biggest game, right?
Offensive rebound, Foster gets rewarded.
Good offensive rebound. Furman has opened up this lead, largely in part to the effort portion here in the second half.
92 points still with 6+ minutes to go as Anderson goes down. Heen loses it out of bounds and grabs his right hand. Okay, but go back to taking everybody's best shot. I mean, not a lot of teams are going to take a look at that right ankle for Garrett Heen. Looks to be okay, but that's another level night in, night out to take everybody's best shot, whether home or on the road, that you got to be ready to play.
That's exactly right, and more specifically, Bothwell and Slauson.
Here you see what talked about the Denbo brothers. Well, Garrett has 15. Miles, 24 points. Just needs a
Miles Jenkins has been really good, man. Like really good. Inside, outside, 2 for 2 from 3. He's cut to the basket. He's had a nice game. That being said, though, when Furman turns it on defensively and plays with an intensity and not give up easy buckets, that might be the only mistake Miles Jenkins has made all day. You know, when their attention to detail has been good, they are really a fantastic basketball team.
Furman lead sitting at 26. That's the largest tonight. Furman had a 10-point lead at the half, have outscored the Trojans by 16 here in the second half as Marcus Foster tries to leave it off to Heen, threw it right away. 7th turnover for the Paladins. No, there's no quit in this Anderson basketball program.
No, and they've kept moving the ball. They've done a lot of good things. And the big thing is, too, is, you know, this counts as a regular season game for Furman. There's a loophole in Division II where this counts as an exhibition game for Anderson. And what you really want to focus in on, if you are the Anderson Trojans, is doing the right things all the time. And for the most part, there's not a whole lot to complain about on that front.
Joe Anderson takes the lid off the basket for him scoring and knocks down one from long range. This Anderson team opened up the season against another Southern Conference school in Birmingham against Sanford. A very good Southern Conference school, lost 109-85, was competitive in that game. So a couple Southern Conference opponents this year. Jenkins knocks down another one. Miles Jenkins, have yourself a night. Give him now 27.
Miles Jenkins is going to be upset that this is considered an exhibition game and doesn't go towards his yearly average.
Out to Heen. Furman tries to respond, and they do. Garrett Heen now with 14. Some of these three-pointers now coming in more rhythm, inside-out shots, and it's all about a rhythm of the offense.
Yeah, Anderson's wearing down a little bit. You know, the body size can get you after about 30 minutes of play.
Furman a bucket away from 100 here as we approach the under 4 timeout. Pegues off the front of the rim. Numbers now for the Trojans. Denbrough. Back rim. Foster grabs the rebound. Tell you what, rebounds now 30-28 in favor of the Paladins. As like Vanderwall's going to get called for the offensive foul. And it'll take us to our final media timeout.
Furman getting close to 100.
3:43 to go. Mr. Oglesby, will the Paladins get to triple digits? I'd say yes. Don't go away. Final 3:43 coming up.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. It tastes like it's just the top of the line peppermint. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Hi, my name is Madison, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is how it just makes me feel like a kid again. I love the cherry on top and the sweet peppermint bark flavor. It's definitely on my list of things that bring me joy around the holidays.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
Two of the best quarterbacks in the league battle for playoff position.
You leave everything out on this field. Me and Nasty, let's go.
Allen and the Bills. Burrow and the Bengals.
Put it in my hands, it's over.
The stage is set for an epic Monday night matchup.
Paladins in control as you take a look at Jimmy Williams and his Anderson Trojans. What they have coming up will be the holiday break and get back in action on the road at Southern Wesley. They get full into sack play, 3 straight on the road.
Well, the first 2, they should win at Southern Wesleyan and at Coker. Then it gets difficult at Wingate, a very high-level program in Lincoln Memorial, obviously, we've alluded to earlier in the game. One of the better teams nationwide in Division II basketball. So moving forward into a tough SAC conference, Anderson has the opportunity to generate some momentum as they move forward.
Paladins will get into Southern Conference play, hosting VMI December 29th, New Year's Eve. They'll head up to Cullowhee to play Western Carolina. Something noted, if Jimmy Williams' squad can get Terrence to the SAC semifinals, they play that in Timmons Arena. So, I mean, you got to experience when you go and you play in a place and they see it in a tournament. You don't want to overhype being able to play in an arena, you know, once before a tournament, but it's nice to get your feet wet, so to speak, in a place.
Well, that's right. You get that experience, and to get that out of the way, if you will, is huge. But SAC basketball, nothing to be messed around with. Extremely competitive, and obviously, you see there's a couple of players playing for Anderson tonight. There are dudes at every level, and I would consider Miles Jenkins a dude at his level.
3-pointer off the mark. And talk about teams trying to play in arenas where you can play in the postseason. Bon Secours Wellness downtown.
Wasn't that a great day?
They jokingly named it the Bothwell, you know, with the well.
They're going to give him naming rights after that game he had.
But you've had schools like, you know, Duke and North Carolina and others that may get regional, you know, play their region in Greenville, say, hey, how do we get games there? Well, that 3-pointer gets over 100. Now, teams don't want to necessarily come play Furman in that home away from home downtown, but you see other teams try to get that neutral site game as the Paladins push the lead to 30.
Well, Greenville's a great venue. That's a great venue. I mean, a terrific city, as we've mentioned, as John Fanta so lovingly admitted as he took a bite of it.
He called you his tour guide.
That's right. And that's basically what I was for that week, because I had to come and pick those guys up. But when I say those guys, John Fanta and Rob Doster for Furman's last game at the Well. But it's a terrific city. It's a great place to get some repetition at a gym that you could see in your regional.
That three-pointer gave a career high for J.P. Pegues with 20. How about this, though? A season best 26 assists for the Paladins on 33 made buckets. So, tell you what, there's some positives, and I think they got the message there at the half.
Well, it all came down to intensity, really, for Furman. And whenever they're sharing the ball and a lot of different guys are scoring, I mean, that's a huge key for success. As Huey was trying to use the bank like my man Denbo did in the first half.
That may be the bank of all bank shots, though. The angle that we saw from that, I'm giving you 20 balls. You're not making that bank.
Come on, Brian. What are you? Come on.
Look, I don't know. I don't want to.
Come on. Like let's not talk crazy here.
That 16 foul the Paladins, no shots.
Hey, Paladins hit 101. That's a big deal. Uh-oh. Mr. Lister.
Brett Lister gets the
Easley native.
Senior. You know, he scored earlier, the junior, he scored earlier this season against his dad's North Greenville squad that his dad doesn't want to count that basket as real. Said he was cherry picking a little bit. Red has a different story. He said he wasn't cherry picking. He said he was just playing good defense on the other end of the court.
That's right, against nobody.
Three-pointer knockdown, 101-74. Final 2 minutes set to roll off here from Greenville. Nice find down to Huey. You've seen it all night as Whip makes the money. Double teams come down low. Furman done a nice job in the second half, cutting toward the basket and finding the open runner.
That's right. If your guy is the one who leaves you to go trap, you either cut or you spot up, depending on what your game is. If you're a shooter, stay out there. If you're a cutter, make sure you make a hard cut to the basket, and that could open up some things for your teammates if you don't receive the basketball. But that's Carter Witt at his finest right there, creating opportunities off the bounce. And Joe Anderson, I thought he had 2 for $1, not able to connect on either.
Nice job by Whit finding him in the corner. Nice three, knocked down, 103-77. Anderson trying to knock it down from long range. Now 10 from beyond the arc for the Trojans.
We need to get Rhett Lister a bucket.
He's spotting up for it in that far corner. Lawrence over to Lister. Pump fake, goes baseline, got bumped. Oh, good pass to Huey, he wasn't ready for it. Lister looking for the dime. Then Johnny Lawrence comes and rejects it. Final 40 seconds. Another three-pointer on the way off the mark. Huey with the board. See Lister try to break out in front of the pack. There he is. Did you hear that's a team player. Doesn't take the shot. Whole bench is behind him yelling, shoot it.
Nice move, nice pass, good shot.
Anderson got the roll. Pushes the lead, 29. Shot clock turned off. Final 24 seconds as the Paladins will have 9 wins in the non-conference, and now all eyes on the Southern Conference schedule about to get going. Nice cut off the glass. And the final 10 seconds set to run off. Jimmy Williams returned to Furman. A lot to be proud of for his Anderson squad, but the Paladins cruise.
Well, they put 80 points or 79 points on a Furman team that's very much in contention in the Southern Conference. But if you're Jimmy Williams, you have to be proud of your guys' effort. You had some guys really play well. I thought Miles Jenkins really showed well tonight with his ability to not only score from beyond the arc, but use his physicality to score as well.
There you see extended conversation between Jimmy Williams and Bob Ritchie as Jimmy Williams goes through the line as the Paladins win it. 106-79 here from Timmons Arena. Taking a look at the play and player of the game. I tell you what, a lot of options to choose from. There's a lot of good back and forth. And
a lot of good basketball play.
A lot of good basketball plays. Paladins put up 106 points. As you take a look at the play of the game as Jimmy Williams, former players. But player of the game presented by BMW. First play out of the half, Jalen Slauson.
Set up really well. Bothwell, even though he didn't screen the other guy, he got in the way of his guy because Anderson was switching a lot. Regardless, Jalen Slauson, if there's one thing he can do, it's create a highlight, and just another one in his deep bag of highlights.
BMW play of the game, Jalen Slauson, who helps the Paladins cruise to this 106-79 win. Cool moment here as these two teams exchanging hands. Kind of a true admiration between Jimmy Williams and his former players.
Well, he's one of the all-time good guys, right? And I'm happy that he got the opportunity to lead his own program. And very much Anderson is in the right direction, especially if they continue with what they showed today.
Buddy, it was fun. Happy holidays to you and yours, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Happy holidays to everybody watching.
For Jet Schetzel, his entire ESPN crew, for Terrence Oglesby, I'm Bryant Lambert saying so long from Timmins Arena, where the Paladins win it 106-79. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
%92 of households that kick off the year with Peloton are still active a year later? Yeah, actively using it as a coat rack.
Congrats on 50 rides!
Okay, but it's still just a fad. Just an elitist fitness cult.
Come on, guys, I know this isn't easy, but we got this.
You'll give up eventually.
Seriously? 92%.
92% stick with it. So can you. Get $500 off Peloton packages. Terms apply.
Online personal styling. What's that?
That's Stitch Fix.
And how can you help me?
We do the shopping for you.
How do you know what I like? And what fits?
You tell us your size, budget, and style.
Wait, is it a subscription?
No commitment required here.
And I only pay for what I keep?
Yep.
I live in denim. Can you send me jeans?
We've got you.
What about shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Style for me? For me? For me? For me.
Always. We'll pick the clothes. You enjoy the great fit. Stitch Fix.
What did you expect? Did you think you could relax? Or had you convinced yourself some records were forever? That you'd seen everything there was to see? Or have you realized you can't look away and you don't know the future and that the game has never been better? That is hockey.
Tatum step back three.
Bucks, Raptors, and Heat, Lakers. Wednesday on ESPN.